Hi guys, and thank you for joining me on this not very bright but a little breezy Tuesday morning, the 11th of July, and happy birthday to my mum. Happy birthday, mum. And I've got a few things to fit into this video, and I'm off to the studio in a second to produce some music for a band I work with called The Little Men. We did a session at Real World Studios and I have to go and do that. So I'm trying to fit a few things into this clip today. So firstly, happy birthday, mum. And secondly, thank you for all of you guys that sent me messages for my birthday, which was July the 1st. So thank you for that. You know, I'm still getting more belated birthday wishes coming in. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. So there's those things. And then next we're going to talk about the Siouxsie gig up at the Tynemouth Festival, which was last Friday, which was a magical gig. We performed at the Teignmouth Priory and Castle, which overlooks the North Sea and the River Tyne. And every now and again we'd be looking out of our window over at the sea in the channel, and all of a sudden like these huge cruiser ships would come in or whatever, and then there'd be some little fishing boats and all sizes of different boats were coming through. It was amazing. And you get to the cliff and you look over at the water, and there's just nothing better than connecting with the sea. You know, it's just one of those beautiful things that I love. And being on a stage overlooking the town, and as we were playing, you could see the sun setting, and that's just magical. But there's something about playing in the daylight, because recently we've been playing obviously either in theatres, which has been very dark and whatever, or going on very late at festivals because it's been so hot. So we go on about 11 or 12 at night. And it's dark, so you get all the lights and the screens are popping, and it's great. So to play in the daylight again, or the evening light, was kind of interesting. A little bit weird, took a while to get used to. But the crowd, oh, what can I say? All the Siouxsie crowds everywhere we've been have just been off the chart. And this one was, you know, just the same. They were loving it. So thank you for all of you that come along. And you can see in the distance, people that couldn't get tickets were all stood along the sort of promenade or whatever as well, watching and listening. Yeah, what can I say? Great gig. We all enjoyed it. As I say, we're really on fire at the moment. We're such a close-knit family, all the crew and the band, everybody. We're so close. It's really, really lovely. So being out on the road with them and then coming off of the road and not being with them is a bit like, ooh, you're missing your mates. So yeah, Tynemouth, thank you, or Tynemouth. I'm not quite sure how it's Tynemouth. Thank you so much. You were ace. Another thing I want to mention while I'm here is that I am doing online lessons and remote sessions again. And I'll do a separate clip on this. But if you were looking at recording some of your music and you'd like me to play drums on it, then just get in contact. And equally, if you're a drummer thinking, I like what Rob does, then again, just get in contact. We can do either face-to-face, nice link to a Siouxsie song there, or we could do online lessons. So if you're interested, just drop me a line at the email at the end of this clip and get in contact, and I can help you with all different kinds of, and if there's any mentoring or anything you want as well, I'm doing that. But I just want to throw that in there because a few people have asked me if I'm doing lessons and still doing sessions, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I am. Of course I am. And I'm here ready to help you. Another thing I'd like to fit in just before I start closing this down, as I say, because I must get to the studio. I've got a really busy day. I need to see my mum. Loads of things I need to do. Yesterday I got some very sad news about someone that's very important to me in my life and my development. A man called Steve Gardner, who I've mentioned before. He was famous in the drum trade for distributing Sabian cymbals and sonor drums through the late 70s and 80s into the early 90s. And also in the retail world, as well as the wholesale world and distribution with sonor and Sabian. He also had his own drum shop called Assembly Music, which was up near the assembly rooms in Bath, hence why he got the name. And then he moved it down to Widcombe, which is a lovely little area, which feels like a different place outside of Bath, but it's all part of Bath. It's another part of the town. And I wouldn't be here without some of his help. Obviously, my mum and dad, firstly, but there's various people that are pivotal in your professional career. And my mum went to him when I was 16 years old, about to leave school in 1986. And Maggie Thatcher had just started this YTS scheme. And she went in and just asked if he would give me a job. And originally, you know, I'd obviously been going in there I was playing drums from the age of 9. So I knew him and I knew the guys in the shop, Nigel and everyone. I was so happy to go in there every other Saturday or something and look around, look at the drum kits, and maybe buy a pair of sticks or a pair of brushes or a new drum head or something, or some maracas or tambourines, because I've been watching Davy Jones on the Monkeys, you know, on Swap Shop, and I'd want a new tambourine or something. And I just got a nice little relationship with them, and they were really sweet to me and they really looked after me. But when the careers people were like, right, Rob, what are you going to do for a job? I was like, be a rock star, be a drummer. Anyway, so Mum went in there and asked him for a job, and he said, well, I don't really need anyone, but I'll give him, you know, if the government pay half and I could pay a bit towards it as well, then why not bring him in? He can help out around the shop. And that's what I did. And I'd go in there, and if they were like, you see all those stands over there, Rob, we need all that sorted and put over there, I would do anything. It was working with drums. I could put my music on. I was just happy. It was a perfect job for a 16-year-old drummer, you know, wannabe drummer, famous drummer, whatever, you know. And through working in the shop, I met Nigel, who was lovely, and Ken and Simon, Steve's son, and worked with them. And they were working at the distribution centre for Sonor Drums, which is just down the road, on the Lower Bristol Road. And I was like, I really want to get in there. I mean, I don't mind working in the shop, but I want to get to that. I don't mind selling guitars. And I learned more about guitars. I could set up a guitar, I probably couldn't now, and restring and everything. And then eventually he was like, right, you can go and help Ken and Simon down at the warehouse and help distribute the Sonor and Sabian cymbals. And of course, that's where I met people like Chester Thompson, Blair Cunningham, and I met Bob Zildjian. That's where I got my coaching in how to select cymbals, through Bob Zildjian, 2 hours hanging out with Bob in the cymbal vault at the warehouse. And Steve had introduced me to all that. And all the way through, you know, he was kind of mentoring me in different ways. You know, he was a very funny guy, so he'd sort of wind me up. And I learned a lot about that interaction between guys, you know, and stuff like that. He was brilliant. He took me to Germany, to the Sonor factory, and eventually helped me get my first Sonor my Sonor endorsement in 1991 or 1990. Which I stayed with until I joined DW in 2010, I think that was, or not long afterwards. And he was a real character, and I've had so many people put things on my Facebook since I've posted something, and I really don't want this to be about me, it's about him, but it's hard not to tell you some stories and how important he was to me, but it's mainly about Steve, and thank you for giving me that nudge up. And at times he would sort of rile me into doing stuff in a very clever way. If I'd come in and say, Steve, I'm not sure if I should do this tour, it feels a bit like, you'd always be like, well, you know, maybe Clive Deemer could do it, or, you know, Clive's a good drummer, or maybe this, that and the other. And I didn't realise, but he was sort of finding a little way to fire up and stoke the fire. I'd be like, oh, and I'd be like, well, no, I can do that. And it was like reverse psychology sort of thing. And I'd be like, right, I'm doing the tour. Right, yeah, that's it. And I probably left, and he's probably like, that was easy. But little things like that, you know, I wouldn't have met all those drummers, wouldn't have met Sonor, wouldn't have been, met Ken, met all these different people that moved. But when I started making my way in the company, they were like, oh, you used to work with Steve. Oh yeah, how is Steve? And all these different things. And it was, I'm just thankful. So Steve, thank you very much. I'll be raising a glass to you again tonight. I did it last night, but I will again tonight. And for those who do know him and stuff and remember him, and there's a lot of people, not just in this Bath, Bristol area, but all over the world, because he went to the trade shows and everything, you know, maybe we could all raise a glass and thank Steve for his friendship and his love and his kindness. So yeah, I just wanted to put that in there at the end. Thank you, Steve. And once again, everyone watching and listening, I'm really appreciating it. You know, that my subscribers are going up all the time. Please like, subscribe and share. Really appreciate it. And I better shoot. I've got things to do today. But thanks again. And I'll be posting a few more snare drum videos that I recorded on Sunday. I'll be placing those out on my YouTube shorts and various things through the week. So enjoy them. Get in contact, as I say, if you want to talk to me about lessons or mentoring or sessions or anything like that, or gigs, just holler. All right, guys, take care. Have a great Tuesday, and I shall see you on Friday. Cheers.